Showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
All right. Yes. What is the deal, folks? What is going on? Once again, we are here. Let me fix my mic. We are here, man, doing the show for you, for all of you out there in the world, around the world, throughout America, South America, Russia, Europe, Africa, China, wherever you are listening to this show, man. I appreciate you tuning in to the last episode of 2022. Let's hear it. Let's go. Let's hear it. Yo, man, I can't believe it. 2022 is over, y'all. It is over and done with. We got a couple of more weeks to go. It was quite a year. I tell you. Good things, bad things. Look, I appreciate life. I do appreciate life. It's a beautiful thing. As much as I talk on this mic and I talk about everything that's going around the world, everything that's happening in the United States, all the things that piss me off. I tell you, life is beautiful. The only reason why I do talk about the things that I do talk about is because I care. And I think that we can be better as a people, as human beings. And when I see something that's wrong, I call it out and I say it. And I try to get as much stories as possible, but I do it within the time frame that I can. Yeah, man. So again, people, I appreciate you being here. It's going to be my birthday later on this month. I am a Capricorn. That's what I'm talking about. Let's hear one more cheers for all the Capricorns in the building. Yo, man, yeah, I'm a Capricorn, man. You know how we do, man. We take our time, we build up, we get to where we need to go, no matter how long it takes. That's the focus and perseverance of a Capricorn. Just look up the astrological sign. Look it up, and there are beautiful things to say about Capricorn. I don't know any bad things to say about Capricorn. I know it's out there. I know there are the downsides of being a Capricorn. I got to look that up. But man, Capricorn people, the most dynamic sign of the zodiac. I'm biased. I'm biased. There are a lot of famous. I think even Jay is a Capricorn. There's a lot of famous people that are Capricorn. Determined people, well-off people, focused people. So shout out to all my Capricorns out there that's gonna enjoy the 12th month of the year, and they're gonna do all the great things with the the holidays and closing out the year right. So yeah, man, it's gonna be the last show of 2022, and I do appreciate everyone that's been keeping up with me up to this point. I'm going to take that month off to really, relax. I mean, how can you do a show and doing topics? I know people do it. I watch other shows over the years in the last couple of Decembers, and people still keep on cranking out the shows. I don't know where people find the time. And I think sometimes it's like, damn, man, I mean, you've been doing your thing all these weeks and months. When are you going to have time to just put the mic down for a second, chill out with the fam, decompress, and come back for the new year? I don't understand. I mean, people do it in business. I mean, you're not going to get much done. Around this time, things start really, after this week, things start, dialing down. People will go on vacation. They saved up for the year. They just have it, and, they hang out with family. And people just want to, relax and, get away from the grind that they've been doing for the last 11 and a half months. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take the time out. It's going to be kind of like a semi-vacation. There's some things that I do want to take care of and get out and just handle. As the white paper, I still, I'm working on the white paper. I'm not, I haven't finished. I'm if I give myself 2 weeks, I'll finish my white paper. And there's some other things that I want to finish. So I'm going to take the semi-vacation away from this mic to really take care of those things. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. Let's see if we can get this thing on an hour and just open it close and get this knocked out. So I am your host, Noah Phoenix, on GCOM Radio, on iHeartRadio. And our first topic, I just like to say before even beginning, let's make this the first topic. Much love and all my heart and support, emotional support, energy, good energy going. It's going to go. Man, I'm having a hard time talking. It's going to go towards Celine Dion. I was looking at my IG. And of course, I think I saw it on the Shade Room or something, or one other the sites. Celine Dion is really sick. Unfortunately, it's terrible. It's terrible. I haven't seen Celine Dion on camera for so long, and I'm like, oh man, what's going on? And I knew because the way she looks, that she's going through it, and she has a rare neurological disorder. It's called stiff person syndrome, and this stiff person syndrome affects let me see here. I had it open. I was reading up on it. They say stiff person syndrome is a quote, a rare progressive syndrome that affects the nervous system, specifically the brain and the spinal cord, unquote, according to the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke. They're saying the symptoms may include extreme muscle stiffness, rigidity, and painful spasms in the trunk and limbs, severely impairing mobility, and she says that's what's happening to her. She really can't sing, and she has the select medical community or medical doctors that she picked to really help her through this moment, and she would have to cancel her tour that would so it was supposed to happen in February, but health is first, and I'm giving all my support to Celine Dion that she does recover quickly. And this something is not going to be the end to how she is living her life at this point in time. And they say even spasms can generate enough force to fracture bone. That's crazy. I don't even know if she's going through that. But, all the love and support to Celine Dion, man. I hate to see human beings suffer in the way that she's suffering. But she's strong and she's going to make it out of this. Elon, oh man, Elon I'm surprised. Elon, he has made Twitter into 4chan. It's for real. He literally, as much as I say even before, like he's using free speech as a means to pretty much bring certain people back onto the platform and bring these folks to say what they want to say. And people are saying that what they want to say is actually having a spike in the negative derogatory language that's directed towards Jewish folks, black folks, the LGBT community, and it's went through the roof. The hundreds, 100%. And recently he just made a tweet saying that is categorically false. I think that's how they say it. Categorically false when you want to say, all right, I'm not just going to say it's a lie, but I'm going to say intellectually it is a lie, like categorically, whatever. So you know what I mean? So he's saying that it's a lie and it's not true. Somebody lying. It was a politician that actually was like, they got to do something about it as far as what Twitter is going. I don't know how you're going to stop a private company, but from allowing for Twitter to say what they're going to say. But yeah, of course, Elon, tweets back at this politician saying that's wrong, and I think he added community something. I guess it's a Twitter community. I guess as evidence to show this politician that it's not true. But people saying that is all these negative words and statements and tweets have just skyrocketed, and it's hitting a lot of folk, as I said before. And he also let on in this. If you ever had a doubt that this dude was trying to make Twitter to be 4chan, if there was any evidence that you can give towards that, is that he actually allowed this guy, Andrew Anglin. He is the man that created Stormfront.com. I think he's the founder, the absolute founder. He actually put him back onto the platform, restored this guy's account. This dude is a living embodiment of vile racist white supremacy, and he was allowed back on the site. If that is not evidence for you, man, if that is not evidence for you. But, as I said, it's not what you say, it's what you do. And Elon has said many times that he believes in free speech and Twitter should open back up. And, he's doing all these things. He did, cancel Kanye's Twitter account. Let's see if it's back on, because I heard they canceled it, and then all of a sudden I heard it was going to be canceled, suspended for 24 hours. So I don't know if it's let's see if it's back on. Let me go to Twitter here. Twitter, Kanye West, Kanye's. Let's see if Kanye is back on Twitter. He's not back on Twitter. Kanye is still, his account is still suspended, because all these Kanye West names would have popped up. It would have had the @ sign, or it would have been highlighted blue for you to be able to go to Ye's page. So Ye is officially canceled on Twitter. You can't get to him. It is what it is. And you know what? He asked for it. What do you want to do? I mean, this guy wants to talk reckless and get on. He actually said he wanted the Jewish people to forgive Hitler. I'm like, motherfucker, what are you talking about? He was on Gavin McInnes' podcast. Gavin McInnes was the founder of what's that damn site? And I was like, Gavin McInnes was the founder, and I was a big follower of his website. Let me see, as censored. No, that's not it. Vice, big follower. And then I was like, Gavin McInnes he's a vile racist. Yeah, so he was on his podcast, and Kanye, that is, and then it was like, yeah, the Jewish people should forgive Hitler. I'm like, oh man, what is the end game with this guy, man? I don't know. I have no idea what's this guy's end game. But yeah, man. So hey, there's another site. I'm not going to mention the name. Because people are actually, there's this one famous actor that's actually letting his followers know that they can also follow him on this new social media platform. And I'm not going to say it because I'm just tired of giving other social media platforms shine. All right. I'm pretty sure. Of course, this came out of San Francisco and people have been talking about it, but I literally want to go left, like go in the other direction of what people would typically expect from a VC-backed a business. Just tired of seeing the same faces. It's all the same thing over and over and over again. You see the same faces. You see the same story. You hear the same story. Like, where did it come from? It's just getting repetitive. I'm like, yo, let's get some new blood up in this motherfucker. Oh, yo, my God, I'm tired of seeing the same fucking faces. They come from the same backgrounds, the same schools, the same friendship network. It's all the same, and I'm like, I'm not going to give it any attention. And, I'm doing my own thing, and eventually I'm going to get where I need to go. And let's inject some new blood into this whole business, especially when it's venture backed, man. I recently had a VC get back to me, and this gentleman said that, I'll read to you what he said to me. Let me see if I can find here. I'm not going to say his name. It is not necessary. Let me see if I can find this guy quickly before I move on. He said something. It was very generic. I was like, well, if we can talk, I can give you a full scope of what Lyfeblood is all about. But I went back to the website to see what he was talking about, because he shared a link. What was the name of this? Let me see. Is it this one? Oh man. And it was very generic. I was like, dude, there's not much you can really say when you reach out to them by email. There's not much you can say. The best thing for you to do is, with this email, give someone 10 minutes and explain it. And to each their own. If my man just wants to keep it at the email and then move on, because I'm sure he gets tons of emails. So, and he said what he said. I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find this damn thing, man. It always, when I talk to people and I bring it up, is when I can't find something. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to give it one more. breeze through to see if I could find this guy's response to my email, and so I can let you know what he said to me. And it's typical. And the reason why I want to bring it up and read it, because it was just generic. And the way that Lyfeblood is coming differently is not the typical in the Web3 space as far, we're going to sell NFTs, and it's not about that. It's a more of a holistic 360 degree understanding of what it is to present a business in Web3 that's going to benefit the users. So he says he thanks me for reaching out to him, but he's going to pass because he doesn't think it hits a sweet spot. That's a common thing I always hear from VCs. It doesn't hit my sweet spot. He says he tends to invest in pre-seed after an MVP is in the market. My MVP is in the market, by the way. I have a full-blown website, Lyfeblood.com, that's in the market in software now. And it's not a software company, but that's fine. But he does deal with Web3. That reduces friction at scale. More on my themes and stage. I was like, reduces friction at scale. Okay. In business and interaction between, that's what reduces friction as it grows to scale. That's what I'm thinking. So he hyperlinked themes and stage. And he ends out, I really appreciate you reaching out and best of luck with the business, which is cool. It's no, I don't have any issues with the gentleman. But, when he would mention that and I went to themes and stage, I mean, there was questions that I have, but usually I don't respond unless it's really necessary, because this is what I think. It doesn't make sense for a founder to try to reach out to a VC and respond back to them because they've already jumped onto the third or fourth business after they finished sending the email. They took the time out to email you, which is good. I'd rather hear a no than just leaving me out there. But what gets me sometimes is that when these VCs say the response while they're passing on your business, and your business is exactly what they're talking about in terms of what they're looking for, then I'm like, did you really take a look at my pitch? Did you really understand it? Because it's not a generic pitch in PDF. It's not my pitch deck. It's not a typical pitch. This is something that reaches, even though it's in the Web3 space, it's something that reaches out from the Web3 space into the physical world where it benefits users. And I thought I would think that the information that I added within the pitch deck would at least get some of these VCs like, hey, that's interesting. What does this mean? Let me get into this, because, with everything that's going on with FTX and Terra Luna and all these companies that are literally going belly up and trying to bring down the whole Web3 industry, you would think some of these founders would say, you know what, let's go from another angle, and we can approach it in a way where we can still make money, but still show the users that this is something that, we're taking a left turn here, and we want to provide something that's going to empower people, not just as far as the founders and what he says in the mission statement, but also the users that are a part of this whole brand. So, and I would think that would be something that would be of interest to VCs, but it's that same talk. And I don't know. I mean, and let me tell you, I send my pitch deck through DocSend. DocSend is great. It gives you some information on when these VCs open up the link to see your pitch deck and how long they're staying on it. Let me tell you, VCs don't spend much time on your pitch deck. They don't. They spend about 25, 30 seconds. A minute is long, but usually on average, it's about half a minute, 45 seconds. They probably go to key parts. Okay, it's a developing traction. What is about? How's it different? Do they understand the market? And then once they get the information, it's not telling them what they want to hear. Pretty much what VCs want, they want you to already be established. From my travels of reaching out to VCs and the few that I've spoken to, they already want you. They want the work to be done already. All right, they want surefire businesses, whether they're at the pre-seed, seed level. If they're a Series A, it doesn't make sense as far as VC. It's already given. But whenever they're investing in startups, they don't want to start from ground zero. They don't. They're not going to do it because they're going to give you X amount of dollars. They want to make sure that their ROI is established and their return on investment. So even though, this is the wild thing, even though VCs, it is known that especially in San Francisco, that VCs do fund businesses that are literally written on napkins. That's the wild part. That's why I get upset, because within their own circles, with the people that they are comfortable with, a founder that they're comfortable with will write this idea on a napkin while they're at a bar having a beer. And the next thing you know, 2 weeks later, the founder is getting $1 million, $3 million. I know of a founder that is VC backed, and I spoke to him because I was just curious on how he went about it. I met him on Twitter, and he says, yeah, man, I don't even give him pitch decks. That's the wild part. This guy this founder, he said, I did not even give them a pitch deck. He was just talking to them, and eventually through the grapevine, while they were being active on Twitter, they got in touch with a billionaire, one of the billionaires that has a TV show used to have a TV show. And they said, hey, why don't you reach out to this billionaire? I forgot his name, but it's a well-known guy that's out there. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to give you money. What? I was to the guy. I was like, get out of here. He's like, yeah, it wasn't a lot. He gave me $150,000. And the thing was, the guy, he said, he told me, and I even checked out a podcast where him and his partner were on. They didn't even have a working MVP. MVP, I mean minimum viable product, if I'm getting that right. Just something. They want to, VCs want to see something. They want to see, you got a website, all right, you got a platform, let's see it. All right, even though we don't care if it's shiny and it's like a brand new car. We don't care if you have a lot of traction. We want to see if what you're talking about is actually physically in existence. And, they want a minimum viable product, MVP. So he said his platform MVP was there. It had a bunch of bugs, but he had something. But then the guy was like, sure, I will give you money. He said back then, I thought 100,000. I think it was either 100,000 or 150,000. He thought it was a lot of money, but of course, as you know, as an experienced founder, 100,000 is nothing. You go through that. But at the same time, it's not just the $100,000 that this founder got that I spoke to, but the fact that this well-known billionaire attached his name and money, even though it was only $100,000. To this business, and that in itself gave this business credibility. Imagine if I say Jay-Z or someone, or say Andrew Horowitz, that's Andreessen Horowitz, that's one of the well-known funders in the VC world, said, you know what, I'm not going to give you $2 million, but I'll give you $150,000 and you can get this thing going. Let's see what you got. That alone would get the VC community with their ears would perk in there, like, and they will start sniffing around saying, this is dope. Let me not say that this is dope. I am intrigued at the very least. And then they'll go start asking you questions to see how things are going, how you're using this money. That's it. You don't have to get $2 million. If you could get a VC to back you with $100,000 and $150,000 to get this product nice and shiny, this online product nice and shiny, your platform, that in itself crosses you over the threshold as being a valid, viable company for other VCs to come and possibly give you even more money, because that $100,000 just gets you in the door. Once you turn that $100,000 and you shine up this new platform, guaranteed you would get another VC to come at you and give you $1 million, $3 million, and that's seed money. Yeah, I know, folks. You would think like, really $3 million? Yeah, because the seeds are getting bigger. There's so much money in the VC world. The seed money is expanding and growing to the point where it's like, this is not even seed money. This is serious runway money. So so that's in a sense where where the difference is in terms of, when I talk with white founders and compared to me as a black founder. You love abuse, Nova, don't you? I'm like, no, I don't love abuse, but at the same time, I'm not gonna let those stories stop me from doing what I'm doing. It's a part of the journey. I don't care. I'm gonna be 60 years old, still doing this, still doing my podcast, doing everything until I can tell my story in full, and I could blast the doors open to this whole bullshit that I'm seeing in the VC community. Man, there's so much money, even in New York itself. There is so much money, and I'm tapped into a whole lot of emails. There's so much money in VC money that is flying around New York. New York is the epicenter of the financial world, okay? And money is flying. I mean, to the point where they're so proud that they have caught up to San Francisco. The way San Francisco, everybody knows that is the tech sector, the hotbed of new companies that are on the way up in the tech sector down in San Francisco. And New York was saying we're going to catch up, and they said they are neck and neck with the tech community over there, startup community in San Francisco, where they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars. And here I'm reading these articles. I'm like, where is this money? I don't know where this money is, because all this money ain't coming towards me. Y'all talking about, New York is caught up to San Francisco, the tech hub of the startup community, and it's hundreds of millions of dollars. All this money is being thrown. I'm like, where is this money going? And not just me as a black founder, but any other black founder, any other POC founder. Who is giving who money? Because it certainly ain't coming around my way. Anyway, so that's the story. That's the deal in terms of I forgot, how did I segue in from Twitter? Anyway, that's what it is. So, let's get on to this Deion situation. Deion Sanders, everybody knows at this point he has exited JSU. He is at the University of Colorado, helping trying to right their ship, the Colorado Buffaloes, as they're called, that team. And, it is what it is. They're saying Colorado's program had 2 winning seasons since 2005 and losing in the seasons in 5 of the past 6 years. This is a bottom of the barrel team, college team. They're saying many of the Colorado's best players, including their potential first-round cornerback, Christian Gonzalez. He left via the transfer portal after last season. And matter of fact, in the NCAA Associated Press top 25, they don't even chart. Colorado comes in at 102. In the Pac-12, Colorado Buffaloes are ranked last with the stats in the conferences, one of the 8, and overall 1 win out of the 11 games. Terrible. They are bottom of the barrel team. They offered Deion $3 million, I think $3 or $5 million to take over and right the ship of what's going on in Colorado, University of Colorado. And Deion is planning to bring his son Shadua to lead as a QB, and also he's snatching up the current QB in Jackson State. And that's like, damn, bro. Look, there's a lot of information that's going out there. Again, I try to be as fair and impartial as possible. A lot of people are cursing out Deion for doing what he's doing, and it don't look good when he's trying to snatch up the current QB out of Jackson State, and not a lot of people is happy about that. I as far as against, I'll go with this, right? Deion promised that he would bring a new era to HBCUs, and that was the energy when he came over to JSU, and people were really excited that you would have a famous top of the line, top performing athlete, retired athlete, Deion Sanders, really do his thing by coming over to an HBCU, and that meant you don't know how big that was in terms of the black community in America, HBCUs, the college students, the black athletes, or athletes in general, and the world, wherever it was going to. It really meant a lot, because it meant that Deion was actually going to put his star power, his intelligence, his seasoned I guess, background in the NFL and really bring up the HBCU, the JSU, Jackson State, to a level where it should be, because they were down in the doldrums as well. And it reinvigorated so many people, and people like were truly cheering Deion Sanders for coming into JSU. And you already know HBCUs already have a problem with funding and the attention that they would get. I understand that I think it's the Power Five. They really beat down HBCUs because the Power Five, they have the resources, they have the money, they have the top of the line facilities, and giving what these new student athletes need in order to succeed and possibly go pro. Because that's where all of the not the agents, the what do you call those people? Oh my God, the scouts go to try to see who they can be, who's going to be the fresh pick to get drafted into the NFL. And HBCUs have historically been underfunded and not properly looked at, especially when a lot of the talent that gets drafted into the in the NFL, it's like what? How many NFL players are black in the league in the NFL? 70%. You would think a lot of that talent would come from HBCUs where black students go to. But this is the situation that a lot of HBCUs is in. And to see that Deion would be a part of that really brought new life to HBCUs and to Jackson State. A lot of people, I was supporting it. I was behind it all the way. If HBCUs ever had an opportunity to make it in sports, this was it. To show unity, to show that, we care for the students, we care for black institutions, and for Deion to really take the helm, take the bull by its horns, and show the world what an HBCU can do, that it can perform just as well as the Power Five. A lot of people, as I said before, were behind that. He set the standard, man. Deion set the standard. Deion set the standard for established athletes and figures to make their way to HBCUs, man. As I said, to be competitive in the brand and TV endowment donations, marketing, radio, all these things, all that attention that was brought to the Jackson State, that's what Deion brought. And we were looking to take that blueprint and copy it over to other HBCUs that really needed that revitalization, that injection of faith and spirit and energy. But bam, it was gone. You know what I mean? As I said, Deion even took the quarterback from JSU and took him. And I also recently heard that a lot of one other potential athlete that was thinking about coming to Jackson State decided otherwise once they found out that Deion left. And again, he came in saying to the students that everything that I just said, and really got them excited, that they were working with an all-star footballer, and the potential of what he was going to do with HBCUs. The next thing you know, after a game, you find out that your coach is saying, well, we did what we did. I'm out of here. You could see how that really took the wind out of their sails in terms of where they felt they were going within the JS. So, and a lot of people are pissed about that. And I understand. I was right there. And here's an opportunity for HBCUs to make their mark. But, he decided Deion sold a good bag of goods to the HBCUs and to Jackson State in particular. And for him to just leave, I think he should at least, I'm not saying that he should stay forever, but he can at least stay for 5 years, 6-7 years, and then make his move. But he wasn't there long, a couple of years, 2-3 years at best. And that really hurt HBCUs, man, and a lot of people felt betrayed, and that's the against part. For part, Deion Sanders, he made a statement early on in an interview. When the video started circulating, Deion actually said he would entertain any Power 5 offer that was brought to him. He did say this publicly. He said it in an interview, recorded his face in frame. There's no trick about that. So people knew that Deion Sanders was keeping his options open as a coach. He has people to take care of. He has his family. He has his team. And he wasn't getting a lot of money at Jackson State. He was getting, what, $350,000? Compared to Colorado. Even Colorado said they didn't know where I think the athletics director, I forgot his name, said they don't even know where they're going to get the money from, but they offered him $3 to $5 million. And you know they're going to get that money because I think their endowment for Colorado is a little over $1 billion. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw that somewhere. So, yeah. Deion's going to do what he's got to do to build his legacy and his family and to ensure that he's going to be taken care of at the stage of his life at this point. The other problem is during a game, Deion, after I forgot what game he won, but he did complain in an interview that when he went back to his locker room or office, a lot of his stuff was stolen. A lot of his phone, his gear, his clothes. Now he found it. They said allegedly he found it again, but why did it disappear in the first place? I think this is one of many things that we as the masses don't understand. We don't know the politics of what's going on at JS. We don't know the details, the nuance. We don't understand those little things, those little personal events or interactions between other coaches, other faculty that could have started to sour the pot, what Deion was trying to mix. You know, why was his clothes gone and his personal belongings? And why did it pop out of nowhere? And again, he's trying to do something for Jackson State and he's not getting the respect that he should be given. Deion gave a portion of his earnings, as a matter of fact. That's how much he was dedicated to JS. He wanting them to win. He gave half of his monies to go towards the facility upgrades that JS needed. And look, not a lot of coaches will do that, but he knew that was a sacrifice that he was making. That's super dope. Listen, with the stature, the professional stature that Deion and attention that Deion was bringing to JS, they should have been throwing anything that they could to really take advantage of what Deion Sanders was going to bring to this HBCU. They should have, as far as what marketing they could have done, fundraising, what do you call it? Endorsements they could have got for JSU. I mean, there were so many things. If you had the proper staff, I didn't hear anything. Again, I'm not in those hallways. But again, if you have someone of his stature, of his importance, you would think that JS would have put together, I don't know, rubbed two stones together. Let's give Deion whatever he needs because he turned around that team and he did a lot for JS. And to think that, you know, he was getting a lot of that, let's keep it real. It was jealousy what he was doing. They didn't like a lot what Deion was doing, and a lot of cats was hating on Deion. So I think they lost a great opportunity having Deion there for the 3 years he was there. Because let me tell you something, if I was part of the JSU, a part of the faculty, the sports team, whatever, and whatever directly or indirect connections I have with the sports division at JSU, I would do my damnedest to get Deion whatever he wanted. I would have been calling Coca-Cola. I would have been calling freaking Pepsi, Doritos, and Under Armour, something, get attention with local television and major television and start what do you call it? Start a reality show, something like how they have the I forgot the name of the show, but they center in on a team on HBO all about the Atlanta Falcons, or all about any football team. Yo, do that. Do it from the grassroots. Let the people know that you are exploring every possible opportunity to try to get as much attention, and which would eventually would lead to more money, but they didn't do that. And who knows if they did do that? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm hearing a bunch of things that it sounded like it didn't leave a good taste in Deion's mouth. Deion made a decision and he moved on. He did the best he could. And, you know, more props to Deion. So I'm kind of split between congratulations and disappointment. Disappointment because you wanted to see what this was going to become, how this was going to grow outside of JSU and spread to other HBCUs. Disappointment that really didn't see this blossom the way it could. It was too early. Disappointed, and the students that are disappointed, you know, a lot of those students was like, yo, I'm going over there. I'm going over there. What? The energy that was growing, this was just the start. And it just disappointed me that this happened. And I'm happy for Deion at the same time, because I want to see this brother get his paper right, get his money right, take care of his family, take care of his team. And obviously, you know what he's doing this for. He's doing this so he can eventually get a position, get a coaching job with an NFL team. You know that's what he's doing. He's not going to stay at Colorado forever. Because, you know, if I'm Deion, that's what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to turn this team around, the Colorado Buffaloes. I'm going to turn them into the top of the Power 5, and that is going to get the attention of the league, and I'm going to get my money right. So, you know why he did it. So, yeah, move on. Warnock versus Walker, man. Warnock versus Walker. Let me tell you, man, that race was too close. About roughly 3 million people voted in Georgia, and it was still dead center split. This man, let's not say anything about Herschel Walker, any bad news, any like mudslinging, anything that was paid for by Warnock to bash Walker. Nah, I'm not even saying that. There was nothing that existed. This man was making the news by his own self. My guy was a bumbling motherfucking sock puppet. He didn't know what the fuck he was talking about when he got up on stage, man. He's talking about werewolves and witches and lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, he was talking crazy shit. Herschel Walker, he got hit too many times in the head. He got CTE. Most definitely, this man, he was working on about 20 brain cells at one point. Talking up on that stage. My man was creating and generating all that negative press all by his lonesome. And here it is. This man was a straight fucking human fucking, oh my God. What I said the last time about Herschel Walker, he's a ventriloquist, and the ventriloquist was McConnell and Graham, and they got their arms stuck right up his ass, right up to the elbow. Oh man, tickling this dude's fucking esophagus. Let me tell you something. This man was a puppet, and we all knew it. Everyone of sound mind and body knew that Herschel Walker was a puppet for the Republican far-right GOP, and yet he still got half. Now that's the scary part. This man still walked away with half the votes, half of 3 million. It was damn close. That is the sad part. Not so much as a sad part that Herschel Walker got close to winning. I'm not a big fan of Warnock, by the way. I'm not a Democrat. But for the fact that this dude came close to winning and everybody knew he was an idiot. My man was a straight buffoon. And now what's that say about the Christian, the diehard Christian conservative that does not believe in abortion and believes in small government and all that bullshit that those GOP folks was talking about? What does that say about them? It means they do not believe in anything. All those far-right conservative Christians that said they believe in family and they're pro-life, and this dude Walker had crazy abortions from the dude from his escapades. Matter of fact, don't even live in Georgia. This motherfucker live in Texas. I don't know where he was living while he was campaigning. This motherfucker was a lie through and through. From the rooter to the tutor. He was a lie. And the GOP was supporting him. They do not believe in anything. I'm talking to all the conservatives that's listening to this show, probably getting tight that I'm talking about your conservatives. Trust me, I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. I see wrong on both sides, and I see that the wrong on both sides is what's leading us in this country in this position where we're in now. You poor, you don't have any health care, you can't get a good job, you don't have an education, you living in a trailer home, you live in rent paycheck to paycheck, you don't have the fanciest of clothes, your kids go to public school and they always get in trouble, and you come home, and the way you get home, the last road that you ride down is a dirt road, and all in the South. And I'm not trying to be stereotypical, I'm being serious. All y'all far right conservative people that voted for Trump, these people do not care about you. So these people that said, and they'll go on Fox 5 and they'll go and talk on all those far right shows and everything, and they're saying we don't believe in abortion, to the point where they got the Supreme Court to knock down Roe versus Wade. And here it is, they were supporting this dude that had crazy abortions left and right. And they chose this dude. Now, let me speak to everybody. Let me not just speak to conservatives at that point. Speaking directly, but keep listening. Don't go anywhere. I'm speaking to everybody. Now, to the point where it was so insulting for them to pick Herschel Walker. There was absolutely no qualities that was shining bright enough for this man to be picked. The only reason why they picked this motherfucker because he was black. And that's how they see you. They just say, hey, well, he's black. I mean, that's all. We just need to win. Nothing. They didn't care, and that's insulting. And everything that this man professed, everything that this man presented about himself as he was campaigning, says a lot of how the GOP sees black folks within their party, and how they're just going to use black folks, and they don't really care about them anyway, about their humanity. They just need to use them like a fucking hammer. And they want to treat you like a box of rocks, and that's definitely what Herschel. He's dumb as a box of rocks. That's what it is. And to me, if they present a black man in the GOP, representing the Republican Party like that, guess what, people? Wrong game plan. They will keep losing. So in that sense, it's so sad that Herschel Walker was coming close. The people that live in the state of Georgia, man, I am surprised that you don't. At least let it be someone of work. That's what I'm getting at. At least let it be a politician of substance. Like, you know what I mean? A dude that can put together two sentences. What is going on that you voted for this guy? If I was a far right and representing everything what it means to be the GOP right at this point, I'd be like, wait a second, I'm not voting for this guy. I actually want to have a fighting chance. I'm not voting for him. He's an idiot. But you voted for him. What's that say about you? For the people that voted for Herschel Walker. That's sad, man. That's truly sad. So Warnock is in now. That don't expect much. He's an establishment politician, and then he goes into another thing. Now, the progressive Democrats seem to have taken a seat now that the Speaker of the House, Democrat Hakeem Jeffries, has taken that seat. And he's been christened by Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi's not going anywhere. I don't think she's going anywhere. And it's even been said. It's so real to the point where there's no such thing as progressive Democrats, folks. There's no such thing as a progressive Democrat. Progressive, and those that use the word progressive are only doing it to grab your vote. You have Democrats, they're corporate Democrats, they're establishment, they're old dog Democrats that really don't care about the points they talk about on the stage. They just want to make sure that money keeps coming in and make sure they're enriched and all their friends and their cohorts are enriched. They are so against progressive ideology or policies. Let me tell you something. Hakeem Jeffries started a PAC called Team Blue PAC to ensure that no establishment to ensure that no established Dem that's already seated can be unseated by any incoming real progressive Democrats. Now, you go to their website, teambluepac.com, teambluepac.com. It won't say anything like that. Now, I was actually listening to Teslin Figaro. I think she was on the IG, and she was actually saying, she was like, they are planning to block any progressive Democrats that may have a fighting chance to get in. They understand what's happening. They totally understand what's going on and the energy that's building in this country. Not just as far as that little bullshit that they're playing with. I mean, a lot of this stuff that the GOP is doing, they're hurting themselves. But that's just one part. But now they got to make sure they handle that they shore up the walls and keep whatever real progressives outside of the Democratic Party. Ex-Speaker Nancy Pelosi is making sure she's sticking around. And actually, Congressman James Clyburn, he spoke on the morning show with Mika Brzezinski and Joe Scarborough on NBC. And he basically said Nancy Pelosi is still hanging around. She's not going anywhere. She's making sure that things run as smoothly as possible. So Hakeem Jeffries, you got to watch out for that. That's why I tell people it's important to understand that you start your own PAC, your own think tank, to make sure that you groom your own politician to get them in the office in your local area. And then as you climb, as this individual climbs, you support them. And it's not just in voting, but the strategies that you're going to put on the street, because you can't just vote and then walk away and expect the system that's already in place is going to encourage their growth or their advancement. That's not going to happen. This thing that we call politics in our country has been going on solid for the last 60, 70 years. I'm not even talking about the last 200 something years. I'm talking about in the last 60 years. Let's say 60 years. It's very intentional, not purposeful. I was going to say purposeful. It's very intentional what's happening here. And it's time for you to step up and do what's right. Because really, what is the word progressive here? A lot of people want to toss around this word progressive. What is progressive? You could say AOC was progressive. She came in, she was swinging like a bull in China. Excuse me, I want to say China shop and insult people. And nowadays you got to be careful. You got like a bull in a porcelain shop. She was coming in, but then she kind of settled into her seat. She still talks a lot of the progressive policies and seen on the Breakfast Club. But she's not the same Spitfire when she first got elected, because she came in like, I'm changing things. And that's what's up. You want to have that energy when you step into the halls of Congress. But, she's settled in. And I don't know where she's going with this, but, more or less, I don't entirely not support AOC. There's some things that has been questionable that I feel. Certain moves that probably was bad on her end, but overall, I don't have that much problems with AOC. Every time she talks the right things, but it's important that whatever talking points you're going to have on the Breakfast Club or when you're speaking to your constituents, that you back that. And I'm sure she backs it. I've seen her talk and she's seen her in action when she's talking to some of these folks that she's putting them under the hot seat. But what is truly progressive? Because I don't think progressive really helps out establishment Democrats. Because if you understand progressive policies would mean proper health care. It would mean ending massive incarceration. It would be protection of the environment. It will be about union support, student loan debt forgiveness, limited work weeks. All of this progressiveness means that corporations are going to lose money in their eye. Progressive means the policies that will stunt the profits and open the elites to losing money. That's what progressive means. They'll use the term because they want to grab those votes. Because overall, even when you use the name progressive, what Americans want, or what they've always wanted, they ask for when they're sitting around the dinner table. They want health care. They want to go to school without having $100,000 worth of debt, school debt, tied to their ankle. They want, control work weeks. They want to work 80 hours a week. They want to spend that time with their family. They want union support. They want to make sure that the time they work the money that they earn matches with the time that they provide or they give to the companies. Nobody's saying that they just want to lay around. No one is saying that they want to loaf off of the monies or programs that America gives. They just want to be treated fairly. That's what progressive means. And they don't want to enact any progressive policies because that means all that money, all that gold, oh my God. Like Scrooge McDuck, oh, the gold. You see, man, so I'm telling my age again. When you watch some Disney with Scrooge McDuck and he's swimming through the gold coins, he does not want to give even a half a gold coin. And that's what these companies are doing. They're making so much money hand over fist. Even when what happened just now with the rail workers, they wanted sick days, like 5 or 6 sick days, and the GOP. And I just want to leave it to GOP. There could be some Democrats in that, but I don't remember loosely from what I heard from the story. I didn't really get into I didn't dig deep into the story, but the opportunity for rail workers, I believe, to get sick days, that got knocked down. I run through a lot of stories, folks, so forgive me if I'm not getting all the details right to you as I'm talking to you, but I'm just trying to make a point here. They couldn't even get sick days. That's how bad it's become in our country. The money that these companies make, billions upon billions upon billions of dollars that they don't even pay taxes on. The billions that they make in quarters, year after year after year. Where does this money go? And here it is, you have blue collar workers that's just asking for sick days. They can't even get that. That's where it's becoming a problem in this country. It's not about left or right, folks. It never was. It never was. They just wanted you fighting over the things that really deep down didn't move the needle on how it can improve your lives. They want you to get caught up in those small little party struggles, that back and forth tug of war. So you can see that's why I don't like Democrats. That's what the Republicans are saying. Democrats are going back to the Republicans. That's why I don't like the Republicans. And really, you missed the point. The point is, it's not about left versus right. It's about the have and the have-nots. And I'm a capitalist. I'm a capitalist, folks. I want to make $1 billion. I want to make $1 billion over $1 billion over $1 billion. Yes, I do. I'm not going to front. I'll say it to you guys right here on this show. I want to be a billionaire because that's what I'm in the business for. But I'm not about just keeping money, the profits, and hoarding it for myself. It's about giving it back to the people. You provided this system, this community, this business to flourish, my brands to be everywhere on billboards in cities across America. Matter of fact, around the world. What can I give back to ensure that you have a better quality of life? What can I do? I don't want to drain your waters in your communities in the Midwest so you won't have drinkable water just because I want to make soda pop. I don't want to do that. I don't want to frack to the point where I destroy the environment. I want to make money, though. I'm not going to front it. That's what it's about. That's what we live in. We live in a capitalist society where we got to make money from the service or product that we provide. I want to make money, but not to the point where I'm going to destroy communities. I don't want to give handouts when I encourage the government to do what's necessary to help the people. I don't want to. It's not about giving away handouts and welfare. I've never taken $1. I've had financial struggles in my lifetime, but I've never taken welfare. What can we do where the private sector can work with the public sector, where we can provide opportunity and through the social programs, where we can make people make the money, whether it's through education or signing up for a union or whatever, where they can be tax-paying citizens, buying products. So the investment is in the people. That's what I'm talking about. So, folks, we got to open our eyes to what's happening here, and we gotta be true to ourselves and truly understand what is going on in this country. Let's build that. All right, guys. I think I'm done. I spoke enough. I got to get out of here. And get this going. So this is the end of 2022. I appreciate every single soul that has listened to this show from the very start. I'm here and I'm growing and I continue to grow. And I thank everyone that has tuned into the show. I thank everyone that has tried to tune in and a show wasn't up on the platforms. I thank every one of you guys that have tuned out and say, you know what happened to my man's show? Let me check out my man's show. I kind of like what he's saying on his program, on his podcast, and I really like what he says on Twitter and what he shares on IG. I like what he's about. I thank each and every one of you that you've been tuning in. I have so much love for you guys. It's ridiculous. I have love for the people that continue to sign up on my YouTube channel to make sure that they follow my show. I also please hit the like button, hit the bell button, so I can be sure to reach out to you guys when you want to have something to listen to when you're making dinner or you're in your car going to work or you want to tune out somebody that is annoying the hell out of you. Like, let me listen to Nova. What's going on? I appreciate everybody that has joined me on this journey to get my business funded, and I'm still on that journey. And I continue to be there, and that I'm not giving up on. So I appreciate everything that I have in my life. I appreciate the breath that I breathe still to this day, even in my older years. I'm still on my way to losing that 25 pounds. I thank everyone that reaches out to me, that knows me on Twitter. You can reach out to me on Twitter. That's at Lyfeblood.com. Same thing on IG. I'm more on Twitter than anything right now. I don't have my Facebook. I am on IG. I do post here and there, so you can follow me there too at Lyfeblood.com. And man. So folks, have a glorious, fun, loving time with the family and friends. Take your vacation, chill out, decompress, get away from things, buy those gifts. Make sure you do Kwanzaa. Shout out to, oh my God, I'm forgetting. Just happy holidays to everyone. I can't think of it. Happy holidays to everybody. All right. Happy holidays to, I want to get this right because I want to say it. Fuck this. I want to say it. I want to say it. Happy, that's what I was trying to think. I was going to say Rosh Hashanah. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah. Merry Christmas. Happy Kwanzaa to everybody's out there. Make sure you ring it in right with your family for Christmas and for New Year's. I will be back in 2023 January, probably the second week, to start this all over again. Start the new solar year right. And as I said before, I got much love for everybody. Thank you. If you want to stay tuned with me, just go on Twitter, like I said before, and my social media. And I'm out of here, folks. Happy 2022. Peace.
Check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go round. From right here to your town, we out.